Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs, fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb, fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. I got 3 reasons. First, you will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable, and I should know. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing.
Being successful is truly a challenge. It's not going to come easy to you, nor will it come easy to anybody. Yeah, some people might get lucky and appear to be successful, but chances are that isn't going to last long term. The best way to achieve success in the long term is to go ahead and make sure you know what you're doing, and go ahead and be focused and be honed in on whatever it is you want to achieve. No matter how crazy the goal or how lofty it is, you want to make sure that you know you are determined to keep going at it no matter what the cost is. It's going to be hard. You're going to have some late nights. You're going to have some early mornings, but you know in your heart of hearts that you're doing this because you want to be successful. You know you can do it, and that's why you're so determined, and that's why you're so focused, because you truly believe anything you can do is possible. And that's the mindset that you need to have, because it's going to be challenging to you. But when there's times when you're challenged, you need to take a step back and discover what you can learn from that opportunity. You need to learn how you can take the information you've gained and push yourself forward. Use challenging moments as a launching pad to get over those even more challenging moments, because you've been there. You know how to push yourself. You know how to keep going. You know how to not stop in a dead end. If you hit a dead end, you're just going to find another way. You will make your own path. And once you do that, that is when you will be successful, not only in the short term, but for the long term as well.
People understand. This young man made 10, 15, 20 short films before he got the opportunity to make Moonlight. So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning.
The training that I had, that's the way we were trained. To play any part, there's no such thing as you can't play a part. You may not be right for a particular part. Yeah. But I don't think there's a part I can't attempt to play. I can at least analyze and try to break down and put a performance together. It may not be any good. But I was taught, one of the things that I was taught that sticks in my mind was a gentleman by the name of Bill Ball, who was the artistic director of the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. And he always talked about failing big. So if you're going to fail, fail big. And I'm like, I like that. I'm not a fall back mentality kind of person. People would say, well, you know, better have another career to fall back on. I'm like, I don't want to fall back on anything. If I fall, I want to fall forward. I never understood that mentality.
I didn't either.
I never understood it. I'm like, I'm going that way. I had a real momentum going from college on through all these roles and plays that I just mentioned, right up until doing Carbon Copy in 1980, 81, and I didn't get any work for about 6 months. Spike would just like load the camera up and I'd just start talking. I could just pull from things I'd learned and memorized and knew, you know, you could talk about the table. He's, oh, that's a black table, you know, you could do anything. You could just improvise. So I just go and go and go. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. And every time she looked up, every time I looked up, she was looking at me, just looking me in the eye. And I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen, give me a pencil. I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975. She said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now, mind you, I was flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the Army. I didn't know what I was going to do, and she's telling me I'm going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the
the world, and I have spoke to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected, I've been directed, I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done.